give the recap. Last time, um, we had arrived at this strange-looking village, where we were greeted by a peculiar-looking child named Ilisande. She kind of introduced us to what was going on around the village and everything, and then when Omi gave her some chalk, she actually drew a picture of a dragon, Tiamat, on the wall, which we found interesting. From there, she took us to three crones who were around a fire, tending the fire and preparing meals. One of them was named Exursa, and she told us about this fire in the middle of the village that they would not allow to go out because there was some kind of occultish reason for that. And she also directed us to the leader of the village named Alberto, who also tended the smokehouse. We
Smokehouse bandit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, and Omi, in the meantime, while that was going on, Omi entertained the villagers with some Village People songs.
Oh, that's
And,
right. Can't forget about that. Yeah.
We could forget about it. If only we'd be allowed to.
That's too good. We probably should, anyways.
Upon visiting Alberto, we found out we learned a little bit more about the village. We decided to check out a little stable area afterwards, where we found the word Audacity like carved into one of the beams, but we couldn't figure out what that was all about. So we decided to follow up another lead to check out a crazy loony man whom we figured out his name was Varek, and he was hiding some sort of notebook under his bed. Upon interrogating him and semi-torturing him, we found out that he was actually a spy in the village sent by Ixus, who's a mage of the Cult of the Dragon, and that this Audacity is actually a ship of Cult of the Dragon people.
As Ron Burgundy would say, I believe the Audacity was an old wooden ship. He would have been right in that case. Sorry. Probably nobody's ever watched that movie, so sorry.
Yeah, I have.
Upon inspecting the tome that Varek was keeping, or his journal that he was keeping,
The tomb?
we discovered that there was a cave, an interesting-looking cave, like not too far away from the village. So we went there to find out what that was all about, and there we discovered a lemur who explained to us that along with some written materials we found there, explained to us that the villagers had sold their souls to some kind of devil in exchange for protection, and they had to keep the fire lit for that reason. We decided afterwards we just headed back into the village only to find that the village was just starting to get raided by all sorts of goblins. We had a very nasty fight with some pretty nasty goblins. We managed to finish them off. Just as we were finishing them off, the lemur appeared and started helping the villagers fight off some of the other goblins that were in Cult of the Dragon members that were approaching on the dock. And after taking care of them, we ended by taking a short rest.
Love it.
The villagers are applauding.
Take a bow, Omi. Great. Great recap. So yeah, you guys had ended the adventure. The villagers have betrayed the demons and the devils down below and have broken the pact that they had soiled some 40 years previously. So you guys had run down to the beach. There were a couple of empty boats that you could get into and go out into the fall, because remember, it is storming and there was a lot of fog, especially it had just rolled in. So do you guys want to go out into because the captive that you had told you that there is the Audacity that is out in the water.
So do we take a short rest, or were you able to get into long rest? This was a short one, wasn't it?
It was a short rest, yeah. You didn't have time for an 8-hour rest, yeah.
So what do you think, guys? You want to get in one of these rowboats and see if we can figure out what's going on out at sea? We'll probably have to be stealthy about it, though.
Yeah, I would recommend. I don't know how you can be stealthy in a boat on water, but if there's a way to do that, I'd be for it, because we spent ourselves pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh, sir. We spent ourselves pretty well. Our spellcasters are probably low on spells, and I know I've spent. I'm healthy and ready to fight, but should we get in trouble, it'll prove difficult.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I concur with going out to sea and figuring out what's going on.
It's right up your wheelhouse, Sir Shen.
Yep.
Yeah.
You should be up in the forefront, leading this
Happy to-
expedition. You should be standing on the bow of the rowboat like George Washington crossing the Potomac River.
Yeah. Left. Go
I mean,
left.
They're supposed to be coming tonight anyway, so either we take the fight to them or they're going to be coming here anyway.
Yeah, they're already. Yeah.
Well, I think the things we just fought was them coming.
That
here.
was the
We just
fight.
need to-
Yeah.
Now we need to find a leader, if that's the case. I look to Shen and say, you know the ways of water. Should you not lead the way?
Absolutely. To the boats.
Find
Don't
the
kill
slaves.
I'll
As
play
he-
the spoon song of stealth. How's that sound?
As
I think
Shen.
through the fog, Omi ends up getting a backhand at some point. Oh, I'm sorry, I was hand slipped. Merely just trying to get in the boat.
Oops. Yeah, you guys remember you're
Did I
supposed
knock
to be
your
looking
spoons
for
out of your hand?
this Ixis, this wearer of purple. Remember he was looking for that, looking for some kind of dragon mask or something. All right, so you guys get into the longboat. General Shen Washington whisks his cape over his shoulder.
Wait,
Yes.
he said he was looking for a dragon's mask. Have we seen anything that looked like a dragon mask yet?
Negative, Ghost Rider. Negative, Ghost Rider.
Before we get into the boat, what's the deal with Kalesh?
Would
Is-
be
is-
the girl?
No,
The mayor?
No,
Oh,
Kel.
you mean
Kel.
Alberto?
with us now. I think he's going to stay here behind.
Oh, Cal? You mean, yeah, he can go into the boat. Sure, he can go. He's in the combat
Oh,
track anyway,
okay.
so...
Can I ask before? I think there was. Who was the big brawny guy? I can't recall his name. Remember?
Alberto. He was the butcher.
Alberto.
Yep.
Where did we rest? I was actually curious about his. Didn't he have like a shop or something that he just left behind?
He had a butchery, yeah. You guys had been there. You guys had seen all the...
He seemed like a pretty badass dude. Could I suggest that we rest in his place since he left for our short rest?
Sure, yeah, you could have done that. He would have let you do that, sure.
Well, I think he went off to go take care of some business in the woods, kind of thing, right?
He went with the lemur.
Remember he
He had to go kill himself. I thought.
he
Yeah,
said
here's
his
the mayor.
farewell, yeah. So he was.
Oh.
Remember, he was the only one that was around at the time of the pact. Although he had not remembered it because he was just a kid, but he had inherited that duty as his siblings died off. He inherited it. So
Sure. So, a couple questions. First one, did he step in my trap while he was going in the cave? 'Cause I set a trap back there.
you set that hunting trap, if I remember correctly. Right?
Yeah, I set some stupid little hunting trap, and if there's any luck that he can't make it in there, kill himself, great. If not, doesn't really matter.
So what did the hunting trap do? Because I think there's several different hunting tracks, right? Several different hunting traps that you could do.
I think it just said it was a trap that came with my kit. So I think it's just a spring trap. I don't think it would actually like immobilize him or anything. So maybe that's not even a big thing.
Did you show that to the little girl?
Well, I said it and then told her to stay in there.
Well, she had found you guys. She said she was scared.
She ran out. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but I was just wondering if she saw you set the trap. Because she could have stepped in it.
No, she saw us because I said it and then told her to stay in there.
Well, she had got back as the battle was winding down and finishing,
right,
while Alberto was still around the campfire talking to the hags and whatnot. So, the girl didn't see Alberto go into the cave.
Okay. She did. Well, I don't think the trap really matters much because he's either going to kill himself or, he's a pretty strong dude, so he probably figured out a way to figure it out, the trap. Anyway.
What was your other question?
Anything worth, I'd like to search when we take our rest in his place, see if we can search it. Anything worth looking at or finding in this guy who's been here forever and is kind of like the leader of the town? Anything of interest within his place when we rest there?
Yeah, I'm sure there probably is. I'm going back a couple of
oh, sorry.
sessions. No, it's okay. All right, so you guys got into the smokehouse. All right.
Well, not like the smokehouse, but like his place.
Yeah, it's attached anyway. So let's see. So in the smokehouse, you find that there are, mass quantities of like preserving salts, charcoals, lumbers, and as you guys are in there searching around, give me an investigation check in the tower, if you would, please. Anyone else? Last call?
Oh, so we can all do it?
You all are staying at Alberto's home and the smokery. Alright, so Omi, as you guys are looking around both in the house and in the smokehouse, you find a hidden cache.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. And it was located under one of the paving stones that was covered by some lumber and charcoal. And inside of this small hidden cache, there is like a bundle of cloth, and what is inside of the cloth is a bunch of old weapons.
Nunchucks.
See, they've been oiled, so it looks like, but the design of these are weapons from, back in the, probably 50, 60 years ago. There's also a small ledger, and as you open it up, it looks like it's the captain's log of the Audacity. And also there's there's a bunch of stuff that was actually transcribed into the journal, and it seems like it was from another ship as you're kind of glancing through it, and this is during your whole entire hour short rest. And it looks like a bunch of notes and logs from the Abundant Serendipity, which is one of the ships that the Audacity actually captured. They were transcribed into that log as well. So, basically the Abundant Serendipity was the prey of the Audacity. And as you're reading this ledger tells you a story with all of the logs of how this merchant ship was loaded with gold and gems and works of art, lots of books of lore, or tombs as they're called, Tombs. Hint, haha. Just kidding, everybody. All of you YouTubers out there, I'm just kidding. With all of these books of lore, basically they were leaving the town of Melvaunt, and they were headed for Mulmaster. And that's when the journal mentions a Captain Reeve Sartastain, and he was the captain of the Audacity. And then it goes into, how the crew, took refuge on an island, enslaved a bunch of villagers, and then the pirate log actually ends with a bunch of blank pages left in it towards the end.
Guys, come and take a look at what I found, and I relate all the information that was in the journal to them.
Look at him and say, no, I don't give a shit about books. You can have all the books. Is there anything like this is a smokehouse? Is there some like decent looking meat around?
Lots of it. Oh yeah, lots of it.
That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah,
right.
And a lot of it
I'll
looks
go
a
down
little
and
weird
grab a
too.
nice piece of meat for my rest as he's
Sure.
reading through some books.
Give me a
Take a look.
perception check, Marcus, as you're, looking for a great piece of meat here in the smokehouse. Give me a perception check. You guys are always so clutch with your rolls. As you're kind of walking through all of the hooks of hanging meat, you're noticing that several chunks of these portions of meat look to be human legs and human arms, and a human torso
Already
as
fucked
well.
up.
Yeah. So it kind of takes
I'm fine with that.
takes you by surprise a little bit, especially being in a small village with humans. Humans usually don't do this. Now,
Yeah.
half-orcs, on the other hand, and orcs,
I'm going to notice that and not say anything to everyone else, but I'm going to pull off. I'm assuming it's like a calf stuck on the bone,
Sure.
and
Big old round
we'll go
bone.
that way.
Yeah.
grab it and then I'll eat that as I'm resting.
Pull
If
it
anyone
off.
tries to notice or anything, maybe that's their problem.
A lot of the marrow from the big round bone kind of oozes out, drips.
Yeah,
on the
sucking
side.
out the marrow. Make sure and crack
Yeah.
the bone open.
Oh,
That's
a
not
half
bad.
orc's dream. Yeah. So you get that all wrapped up. There's plenty of cherry cloth and stuff that's in the smokehouse, so you'd have no problem doing that. And you can just right click on your inventory and just write down whatever you take. I have no problem with that.
Oh no, I'm gonna eat it. That's fine.
Just on the you're gonna hold it by its like around the ankle and just.
Well, it's just
Like
like
a chicken leg.
the knee to the foot. No foot, no knee. Just like a turkey leg, right?
I like it. I like
Just
it.
calf.
Yeah.
I'll toss the bone when I'm finished.
Take you a little while to eat, but you'll be gnawing on it for a good while.
I got an hour. This
Yeah.
fucker's reading over here.
Yeah, you got it. You
Telling me
got
some
it.
bedtime stories.
Whoa. What kind of bedtime stories? I want you guys to role play that out. Go for it.
Yeah, he's telling me something about some boat. Shin's like staring at him like he's like God's gift to Earth.
He knows nothing of life on the sea.
And I am just hoping Omi keeps himself busy with the books and doesn't bust out those damn spoons again. Because
You had to go and say that, didn't you?
no,
I
he's
would-
busy reading. That's it. Tell us stories. Busy reading. I want to
When
rest without seeing a spoon.
Wasn't the Audacity, and that the ship that guy was talking about, that Ixis is on?
And you found that.
No,
You found
well,
that
the
plank
Audacity-
of wood that had Audacity wrote on it.
yeah,
The
it was
logo
like
of
scrap.
the ship. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It was the interior wall of one of the hovels that you had went into.
No, the crazy guy said he was on some other ship. I don't think he gave a name of the
Oh,
ship.
okay.
But
Hey, Varys and
No, the
Shen,
crazy
you
guy
wanna-
said he was on the Audacity.
oh, he did.
And yeah, well, and he said that Ixis was going to come and save him, and they were going to attack, and damn sure they attacked. They're coming to get me.
Hey, Varus and Shen, why don't you check out these weapons here while I'm reading?
All right, check out the weapons.
Any basic equipment that one weapon of whatever you would want, that is the item. So if you wanted a scimitar, there'd be an old scimitar in good shape, good enough shape for you to use. Or if you wanted a sword, short sword, or a hand axe, yeah, sure.
I'll take a third. All right.
Sure. Everybody gets to choose one. So. Because all of those weapons were, remember they were oiled and wrapped up into the cloth, and that is what you had found in that cache under the stone. Ooh. And the journals, of course, don't forget those.
Well, I'll flip the hand axe over as it gets tossed over to me, and well, at least something useful out of this.
As you're gnawing on a hunk of meat.
Yep.
Smells good.
Damn thing's pretty sinewy. Ugh.
Shenraz, any weapons? Omi, any weapons?
Nope.
I'm looking it up.
Just go to the items.
That a monk. Well, a monk. I'm hoping he can have a blowgun.
I don't think there's any blowguns in 5e. Not yet, anyways.
Yeah, it's right here in the equipment list.
Is there? Then there's a blowgun in there. A
Yeah, but I gotta
normal
make sure I
blowgun.
can use it.
Just suck in real hard.
Yeah, I don't think you're proficient with too much stuff, but you might be able to. I'm not sure if the monk is simple or just an individual item or what. Alright, so you guys are figuring out the weapons. You guys are back to the shore. You guys climb into the longboats. Now, the longboat's not... the longboat is large enough, and it's a pretty big boat. But with all 5 of you and all of your gear and whatnot, it's a comfy fit. So I'm going to show you guys another map here in just a second. And
I'd like to. Shem would like to cast aid as we're getting into the boat to some party members here. That's the reason I was asking about Kalash. Aid gives 5 temporary hit points for a duration of 8 hours. Because I'm assuming we're headed into a battle, so I will give aid to Markesh.
Alright, this costs 2nd level spell slots now. It's a 2nd level spell.
Yep. I got one. Actually, I've got 2. It's the first 2nd level spell I've ever cast.
Yeah, very good. So I think it's
aid to Varus.
3 people, right? Very good.
Yep. And Kalash is with us, or do we expect him to show up?
Kalash is with you guys also, yeah. He is in the longboat.
Aid to Kalash.
I'll let you guys play him.
I'll take a javelin. It's a simple melee weapon.
Sure.
A blowgun was a martial weapon.
So everybody gets aid except myself and Omi. Sorry, Omi.
That's right. Makes sense to give it to the fighters.
Sorry, Emmy. Go fuck yourself and keep playing your spoons.
Yeah, keep the spoon songs going.
As we're trying to be stealthy in the fog, creeping
Yeah, I'm
up
gonna
on
ask
the
Omi if he wants to grab one of those oars.
Oh, I have my spoons here. They see me like paddling with the spoons.
I'm gonna sit down with an oars. Is it a 2-person row or is it 1-person row?
You can row 2 aside.
All right, so I'm gonna sit down and I'll volunteer. I've got decent strength and dex. I'll volunteer to row. Just need to have Shen guide me.
You have so much strength, Marcus. You'll be rowing on your side, and you'll just be going
Fucking
in
circles, man.
Yeah.
You do
And
one
as soon
stroke
as-
to everybody else's 3.
I'm gonna say as soon as Omi picks out those spoons, he's getting upside the head with the fucking oar.
I love it.
Ow! What was that for?
You picked up the spoons already?
I was gonna play the spoon song of stealth.
Shh! You gotta be quiet, man.
All right. I reluctantly grab an oar.
All right, so you guys are
We're listening to
spooning
Shen.
your way out.
Yeah.
Oh,
have
that's
Shen tell us
all
what's
right.
going on.
Go for it, Shen. Shen, the sea suddenly quiets. You start to row out in the direction towards the Audacity. Give us a brief description of what you're doing as you're standing on the forefront of the boat, on the bow of the boat.
Keeping a good lookout to make sure, because of the fog, that we're not about to run into anything. What's the visibility like?
Absolutely shit. You can see about an inch in front of your face.
So I'm listening intently and staring hard, trying to make out anything in the fog ahead of us.
So you have your left hand or your right hand over your eyes on your forehead, sort of acting like as a visor, and you're just kind of looking from left to right or right to left.
Yes.
Okay. What else are you doing?
Telling the rowers to row in a slow, steady pace, trying to make headway as we're making out.
And Kalash, he breaks the silence, and Kalash says, "Psst, hey mate, do you have any good seafaring stories for us as we're rowing the boat into a certain death?"
Well, we would need to maintain silence and as best we can, because it's quiet out on the water.
Oi, that's bullshit, mate. So all of a sudden, as you're glancing out over the bow, Shen, in an instant, the mysterious fog starts to lift from the surface of the water, and the storm starts to settle a little bit and actually scale back as I'm looking for the volume button to tone it down. There we go. Oh, oops. This goddamn slider bar. The storm quiets down. All of a sudden, all of you see the clear sky for just a brief moment. And then it seems like a shining light from your deity is shining down on you. And looming in front of you is the ship you've been searching for, as I can still hear the ice cream man a couple streets away. All of a sudden, just then, your longboat takes on a red cast, and your baleful eyes, still squinting from all of this fog and smoke from the island, you see what appears to be a ship just appear in front of you, and a terrible tearing sound following by a great rushing wind and a surge of heat. Ship appears in front of you about 100 yards off, and the two boats collide, the Audacity and this other ship that had come out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden, a slight fog returns, and billowing from the two ships, you can start to see plumes of fire, and you can start to see a black smoke start to rise up from these two ships that are now tangled with one another. So you continue, Shen, with your great seafaring skills. Thought I'm not even going to make you do a seafaring skill check, because I'm an ICDM. You navigate the longboat close on one of the on the port side of the Audacity, right up to one of the ship's ladder that just happened to have been dangling there. Thank you to the Adventures League Adventure. You can hear screams of fear. You can just feel the pain of the weapons striking all of the scurvy sea dogs on both ships from the deck above. Now I'm gonna give you a map. Sorry guys, I was being goofy there.
That's beautiful.
But I love it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Fuck it. So as you see the map in front of you, the high quality Adventures League map that I purchased, you can get that from the DMs Guild and from the affiliate link down below. Spare no expense on these high quality maps. You are along the port side of the Audacity.